Hi guys, thanks for tuning in and happy Sunday. Oh my gosh, today is so beautiful in London. I'm like so happy, it's ridiculous. I'm like, ah, my fan is on, I'm excited. Like, it's so warm. Well, my room's in the loft, so it's so warm that my fan needs to be on, but that's a good thing. Anyway, today's video is really short and sweet. I say this all the time, it's never really short, is it? Anyway, I'm gonna try and keep it short, but I really had like this urge to share with anyone who's currently transitioning or anyone who's thinking of going natural things that I wish I'd known before I went fully natural. And that's not things that I wish I'd known so that I wouldn't have made the decision to transition or go natural, but things that would have made my transition easier, things that would have made, I guess, the first few months as a newly natural easier. So I guess it's a mix of things I wish I'd known during my transition and all in all before going natural. So I hope you guys enjoy. The first thing I wish I'd known, in fact no, it's not what I wish I'd known, it's what I wish I'd listened to. So I wish I had not cut my hair myself, so I wish I hadn't gotten rid of my relaxed ends myself and had gone to get them taken off professionally. If you are transitioning and you're like me, well then, really looking forward to chopping off your ends yourself, that moment of liberation. Trust me, I know how exciting it is, like you've stretched or transitioned for so long and blah and you want to do your cut yourself. I understand, I do, because I did it. But I would really recommend that you have your cut done professionally. The reason why I say that is because there are so many more pros, I think, of having your hair cut professionally. You can get layers done if you want, and your stylist should hopefully be able to cut your hair into a shape that would allow for a more even kind of growth or even length when you do cut and your hair grows. It's something I'm actually like kicking myself in the head for now, because I'm actually going to be having my hair cut in I think a week or two. Not like a major cut, but cut and shaped. Because I cut my hair myself, I find that I have all sorts of lengths going on and it's just not cute. I didn't recognize it like initially because obviously you wash your hair, there's so much shrinkage, your hair goes from like here to like here. But the more I started to like experiment with like hairstyles and things like that, I started, especially with twist outs, oh my gosh, I was like, why is there one long twist over there and then the twist over here is like here? So if you can, guys, please cut your hair professionally. If you really do want to track or record or I don't know, document the cut itself, then definitely get a friend to follow you to your salon, get them to record you, take pictures for you, all of that good stuff. But please cut your hair professionally. I wish I had done that. The second thing that I wanted to say that I wish I had known is I wish I'd known that single strand knots were very common to naturals. I don't know, I guess maybe that's just me, I just didn't really think I would have them. I was like, oh please, I'll avoid them. Oh, I'm special, sure. So when I did like find myself just after chopping my hair after a few months of having loads of single strand knots, I really did start to doubt my regimen. I started to think that I hadn't, you know, started my journey off on the right foot. And it was really annoying. It really got to me, it stressed me out, and the first few months of your journey shouldn't be that stressful. So I guess this is, I wish I'd known that single strand knots were common to naturals and that me having single strand knots did not mean that my journey was a fail or had started off wrong or anything like that. So this is a bit of a weird one, but definitely be encouraged. Single strand knots, as far as I know, are common to naturals. You can of course reduce them by dusting and going for, I mean, trimming them off when you need to, but yeah, don't think that you're doing something wrong because you have single strand knots. Our hair's just kind of like that. The third thing that I wish I had known before going natural was that detangling tools are great, but they're also not so great. So you guys probably know from like videos and the blog, if you follow the blog or anything, that I have spoken a lot about detangling tools. So the Felicia Leatherwood detangling brush, which I like love, the Tangle Teaser, the Denman brush, I have them all. However, I think it's very important, and I wish I'd known this before, to start your natural hair journey off relying on your fingers as your primary detangling tools. The reason I say that is because those detangling tools are fantastic for when you actually need to detangle and your hair is like super knotty and your hands or you just don't have the patience or the technique to really detangle efficiently. But when you're doing just general everyday detangling, you know, when you don't really need to go in, then I definitely say use your hands. Your fingers can be great detangling tools, you just need to get used to using them. The reason I say that is kind of linked to the second point that I was making about single strand knots. Using loads and loads of detangling tools of course means increased manipulation in your hair, and what I found, and I think was a reason for my excessive single strand knots after like a month or two of doing my transition and chop, was that all of this manipulation was just causing my hair to be very fragile, and so I had all of these single strand knots, I was finding split ends, and I just couldn't put my finger on what it was. But I decided to reduce my hair tools and also just make my regimen super simple. And I started to realise that, you know, my hair after getting rid of trying to get rid of the single strand knots was a lot healthier, and I didn't find as many like split ends and things like that as I had before. So definitely if you can wean off the detangling tools when you are like newly natural, then please do try to do everything with these bad boys here, and then slowly when you do need to do hairstyles that like really need to be super smooth or slick, then of course you can use your detangling tools because that's what they're there for. The fourth thing that I wish I'd known was that this is one for anyone who's currently transitioning or thinking of going natural. I wish I'd known that my texture would most likely not be like my favorite YouTuber, vlogger, blogger, celebrity, whoever. And this is something that's like, obviously, you know, like genetics and blah blah blah, but I kid you not, and I'm sure like maybe you guys you understand because you're going through the same thing, or current naturals have experienced it before, but you will like find these bloggers or vloggers that you love and you start to fall in love with their texture, and in your mind you're like, oh, that's going to be my texture, because that's all you associate with like beautiful hair, or that's what you associate mainly with beautiful hair, their texture, and you begin to idolize, which is fantastic. You can have hair idols or hair aspirations, that's really great, but be careful of associating or hoping for your texture to be like somebody that you, I don't know, love. It's a tough one to deal with, and the only thing that I can really say I think would help, and it's something that it's a technique I actually use with my younger sister. We actually do have, I'd say my hair has a slightly looser kink than hers, but what I've done and currently doing is showing her naturals with her hair texture who rock it flawlessly. Perfect example is Addicted to Etsy. If you're looking at that whole texture chart, I think her hair's probably down the very end of the four texture. And my younger sister Mary's hair is, I think, very similar to hers. So I show her pictures of this like Simply Sin looking hot and spicy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at her hair's gorgeous, your hair is like that. So whilst it's great to have hair models or hair role models, sorry, I think it's also great to consider maybe all of the textures as opposed to focusing on just one. So find people with the textures, or who have like all of the textures, so find a texture role model for, I don't know, everything. And I think it just makes it easier for you to embrace your actual texture when that time comes, and realize that, okay, it wasn't the one that I wanted, but you know, she rocks it this way, and I'm confident in the fact that I can do the same. So yeah, I think I kind of rambled on that one, but I hope you guys get the point. Just be ready for a texture you may not have hoped for, and make sure that you're not transitioning or going natural because you want to have the texture of somebody that you really like, or you know, someone's hair that you really love. It's going to make your journey a little bit difficult to begin with. The last thing that I want to share isn't something that I wish I'd known before transitioning or going natural. It's actually something that I was prepared for. So this, I guess, is a last note for anyone who's thinking of going natural or anyone who's currently on their transitioning journey. I think it's really important to have a moment with yourself, sit yourself down, and really think about how you define beauty. I know it might sound a little bit deep, but I'll explain. It's based on personal experience. if you're someone like myself who's going or gone from, you know, previously chemically treated hair, more specifically relaxed hair, if you're anything like, or anyone like myself, then you may have grown up in a society or with people around you who have straight hair or who define straight hair as being beautiful. For me, growing up, it was the norm. The natural girls in school, secondary school, primary school, wherever, were the minority. Straight hair girls were the majority. So this transitioning of mind, from being chemically treated or relaxed to going natural, isn't an easy one, because it's quite difficult to associate yourself with this new texture that's for so many years or for so long you haven't really associated with being beautiful or with being a primary form of beauty. And I think it's really important to have that moment with yourself where you really do kind of pick at your definition of beauty, whether or not for you it's more outward, whether or not for you it's more inward. At that point where you don't just define it as outward, you'll start to become a lot more confident in your decision. You'll start to be more prepared for the journey. You'll start to let go of these hopes of wanting someone else's textured hair to being ready for whatever, and the decision to become natural will actually be a really, really exciting one for you, that you begin to associate with feeling quite liberated. And I'm not talking about anything historical, but just being liberated from diminishing one of your own stereotypes. And that's kind of it from me. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed that. I'm so sorry this video is so long and I said it would be short. But anyway, have a blessed Sunday, and do let me know if there are any videos that you want from me, because I really just don't know. But anyway, have a lovely Sunday and an amazing week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.